around the world, 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 around the world.
Hi, I'm Dan Lakin and welcome to another episode of Around the World in 80 Drinks. Usually we supply giant teepees, mobile bars and event staff, but while Boris is busy ruining it for the event industry in the UK, I'm on here doing these shows every single week, telling you how to make a great drink, but also speaking to some awesome drinks professionals around the world to bring some real live news to you guys watching at home. So we're going to find out later another bartender, where they are, what they've been doing to keep busy and what's going on where they are at the moment. Shout out to Simon at Print Crew, who's very kindly gifted, two of these actually. I haven't quite managed to put up the second one yet. But he decided that it was a little bit bare in this area, so I've whacked an Around the World in 80 Drinks sign there, so thanks to him for that. So this week I'm going to be making the Aviation Cocktail, or at least my home bartending variation of it. So you're going to need some vodka and ideally a violet liqueur, which isn't that easy or that common to have at home. Isn't it easy to get hold of or that common to have at home? But what is common nowadays is violet gin. This stuff is in all the supermarkets and a lot of people drink it with tonic or lemonade. So it is quite a popular drink to have in your spirits cabinet. So I'm making it with that so you guys can make this drink easily at home. Something else that you may or may not have in your spirits cabinet at home is it's some maraschino liqueur. So this is a Giffard liqueur. The most popular one by far is a tall green bottle, and it's wrapped in like a wicker stuff. So that maraschino liqueur is the Luxardo one, and that's probably going to be the go-to one in a supermarket. But you can get this stuff online, just any sort of maraschino liqueur. That's going to be the sweetness in it. And I've put back here a pre-batched lemon, but in actual fact I've got a fresh lemon just here, and it's just a tiny amount of lemon, just half a shot, so just half a lemon's going to work nicely. So let's get underway and let's make this. So as I say in most weeks, when you're trying to remember cocktails, it's always going to end up, generally speaking, going to be 50 mils or 2 shots in the glass. So I'm going to put a shot and a half of my spirit in, and then we're going to top it up to make it 50 mils with my liqueur. So a shot and a half of my violet gin. If you had a normal gin and you had some violet liqueur, then feel free to just turn it down a bit on the gin so you can put a bit more of the violet liqueur in, and the maraschino. So it all works out to be around about the 2 shot mark. Doesn't matter if you go slightly over. If you want to do a shot and a half of gin to then half a shot of your violet liqueur to then a couple of bar spoons or a couple of teaspoons of the maraschino. You can play with it as you decide how you like to drink it. But basically the maraschino, yes, it gives flavour, but it's also given a bit of sweetness to balance out the only other ingredient, which is the lemon. So it's half a shot of maraschino liqueur in this. So the Aviation Cocktail was created by a bartender called Hugo over in New York in the early 1900s. And then Harry Craddock got his hands on it at the Savoy. It's in the Savoy cocktail book, where it did change slightly, as do a lot of the classics, or I say classics, as do a lot of the cocktails that he finds and then ends up in there. They often become classics because they've entered that book. So as to how you make it at home, whether it's Harry's way, or Hugo's way, or your own way like I'm doing at home, you can do a bit of research online, work out the best way that you want to do it, or the easiest way you want to do it. What I'm trying to do here is make it accessible and drinkable at home. So then, it's just some lemon. So I've already got half a lemon sat here. I'm just going to hand squeeze that in. That's about a quarter. And there's a second quarter. So that equates to about 12.5 ml, half a shot or half a lemon. However, it doesn't matter. Just get about half a lemon in there. You don't want too much lemon in there because that's all that's going in there. So there's no sweet going in there other than the maraschino liqueur. Get a load of ice in. It's always nice to chill your glass down a bit first. I could have done that earlier. I have got loads of ice down here, so no harm in chilling the glass as well. Top on, shake. And here we go. We're going to double strain it. So that means a strainer on top, a tea strainer underneath. All you're trying to do is make sure there's no shards of ice, there's no bits of lemon. It's quite a nice clear drink. And there we have it. All we need to do now is garnish it. I've got some of my old lemon here. I can take off some of the edge of it, reuse the stuff that's going to end up in the bin. This is called zesting, but I'm just going to take off a tiny wedge of it. I say wedge, a tiny bit of the skin, make a little incision, and stick that on the edge of the glass. And there we go. That is an aviation cocktail. It's a little bit of a twist on it. As I say, it's meant to be violet liqueur. I've just used violet gin, but there we go. Aviation. Delicious. And what you'll start to learn if you watch a few of these videos is that a lot of these drinks are pretty much the same. It's just one ingredient that's slightly changed to make it a completely different classic. So if you are watching these videos, watch some of the ones that go back, the fizz, the sour, the French 75. You'll see a lot of similarities between these drinks. But that's it for this part of the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to a videotape that I recorded earlier this week. It's a bartender in Texas. I introduce it in the next bit, so let's roll VT. Franny, thanks a lot for coming on Around the World in 80 Drinks. It's Franny from Franny's Bartending in Houston, Texas.
Woo!
How are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Yeah, we're all right. We're all right. We're cracking on and battling on. I know you guys over there have a similar sort of business to us. You're event bartenders and you do bars for parties, don't you?
Yes. Well,
so
parties, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how's that been recently? Have you been busy or?
Not as busy as we used to, but we're doing okay. I mean, we're doing the best that we can do what we have. But I think things are starting to pull up again. But we definitely want to stay safe. But
yeah,
we're doing what we can do.
Yeah, I think you're the busiest event company that I've ever heard of in these times. So just tell our viewers what it is that you've been keeping busy with.
So, of course, like everybody, all bartending companies, mobile bars, restaurants, I know we've been hit probably the hardest during this pandemic, but I decided to do things a little different. I went out and got my liquor license. For those of you in the UK who don't know exactly what that is, that's just basically the big license to sell here in Texas, which allows me to make my own drinks and sell them. And almost like a restaurant, but I don't have a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you've been delivering packages across Texas, haven't you?
I've been delivering packages across Texas. I've been doing drink packages. I've been doing virtual bar classes. I started when I used to make dehydrated fruit for my drinks. I started an earring company. With the dehydrated fruit.
That's absolutely incredible.
I'm a jack of all trades, and I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, no, don't be ashamed of that. Anything to keep busy during these times.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So last time we chatted, I think it might have been morning, was it for you guys? And was it that later that day or the next day you had to drive across Texas delivering these packages because for whatever reason over there you can't ship them like we might in the UK.
That is correct. You have to have a distributing license, and that is a very hard license to get. But It's not legal. It's not illegal to drive. So what I did was I had a virtual bar class from a law firm. They had about 34 clients who wanted to participate in the virtual bar class. Being the girl that I am, I'm like, what do you need? And they're like, oh, well, can you do this? And I go, absolutely. I can go to the store and buy all the alcohol, make packages for them, and I can drop them off. They go, the furthest one is 6 hours away. I don't care.
Oh my God.
So I did the trip actually, and it was phenomenal. 19 hours the first day I drove.
Wow.
The second day was about a good 12-hour drive all over Dallas, Texas. I've made 37 stops. I delivered 43 baskets.
Oh my God. That is absolutely incredible.
And they loved it, by the way. I got a complete amazing review and a very generous tip.
Good, good. I should hope so with all that driving.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, amazing. This is what I mean. When we chatted originally, I just couldn't believe how busy you were. And in a normal December, how many events would you usually do, and how many are you doing this December?
So about a normal December for us is about maybe 40, somewhere between 40, and this December about maybe 20.
Right. Okay. That's quite impressive by my standard as well, because we usually have a few massive events throughout December, and now we've got literally nothing. So that is impressive.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that's good about us is that I honestly feel like we're such a special company that people want to help companies like this that's been around for a while, but we have such a great reputation that we have venues who put us in their contracts. So brides have to book us, which is kind of a nice little, especially during these times. So shout out to States of Pecan Park and the Lodge at Mon Creek. Thank you guys so much.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you send me the links, we can tag them in the videos when we share it on social media.
Awesome.
So you're obviously a keen bartender, so I'm going to hand over to you to make us a drink.
All right, guys, this is where I come in. So Dan, I was thinking it's the holidays. I definitely wanted to represent Texas in a great way. Texas is known for one great specialty during the holidays, and that is eggnog. I don't know if that's big in the UK. Is it, Dan?
I wouldn't say it's big, but it's definitely something that people do drink at Christmas.
So yes, so I wanted to do the fa la 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 la. So today, guys, we are going to do a dirty snowman. I know the name is absolutely hilarious, but I named it, so there you go. Guys, today we're going to go ahead and do it with a Fireball whiskey. This is a cinnamon whiskey. This is amazing. This is a really good, it's got that cinnamon. You remember those cinnamon autumn bomb candies you used to taste back in the day? This is exactly what this is. And we're going to go ahead and do, also we have our horchata. We're in Texas. This is big here. So this is a liqueur horchata cream. This has a little bit of spice, cinnamon, all seasons, everything. Really, really yummy. This is going to go in there as well. Also, we're going to do a little bit of our Mr. Stacks. This is a cream liqueur. It's a gingerbread cookie one. So yeah, this is a very indulging drink, super sweet and everything. It's really easy to make, but it's super yummy during the holidays. And we are going to make this right now. So first things first, guys, is I like to go ahead and get my glass a little cold. So I'm going to go ahead and use like a, say the rock on the rocks glass right here. This is a really nice one. And we're going to remove this one. And we are going to, I don't put that much ice in my drink, so personally me, but fill your glass up to your liking. We're going to go ahead and pour about maybe, I want to say about a good, that my husband wants me to tell you this is the eggnog. so guys, we're going to pour about a good 3 ounces right here of our eggnog right here. And we are going to go ahead and pour, I want to say about half an ounce of our liqueur here. We're just going to pour just a little right there. And we're going to go ahead and add that in there. Like I said, this one's easy, guys. You don't have to do too much for this one. And we're going to go ahead and add our our Fireball whiskey. We're going to go ahead and add that in there too. I want to say about a half an ounce as well. Guys, this is so good. And you can actually put this on ice and do like a frozen drink with it as well. This is her chocolate cream right here that we're going to be using. This one is really good. Guys, we're going to go ahead and pour that one in there right there. This one involves no shaking. I like to make easy, simple drinks where you don't have to worry about shaking and all of that, because sometimes my guests don't have the opportunity to have shakers. So I like to make drinks that are a little bit easier for everybody. We're going to get that ice in there. And this ice is coated with rosemary, and it does have lavender peel inside of it as well. It just gives it a really beautiful look when you're doing your drink. We're going to go ahead and give that a good stir right here. There we go. Let's look at that color. That color is really nice. Guys, we're going to go ahead and tap that spoon, and we're going to go ahead and just add some garnishes. Make it simple, make it easy. I got some fresh cinnamon sticks here I'm going to add in there. And I also have my ground cinnamon. Just going to top that on there right quick. Just a little top. And voila, guys, we have a dirty snowman. This one is super yummy right here. There you go.
Amazing. Good work.
There we go. Dirty snowman.
Is that your own creation then?
Actually, it is. It is.
Good.
And it was one of the drinks that I took around Texas, and we did it here, and everybody was like, okay, you need to bottle that up and you need to send that to me in a gallon size. So it's just something simple. I got some donuts here that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a donut after this and I'm gonna drink my drink.
Nice. Amazing. Good work, good work. So, so tell us what's happening in Texas at the moment with COVID. You're obviously, able to do a bit of work here and there. So, what's happening in the States?
So, as of right now, we're getting towards the end of the year. So, we are still doing mask mandated. We are still, mandatory to wear masks in places. I think things are getting a little bit more stricter. Texas became number one in the United States for the most cases. So we're going to have to get back on our horses, guys, and we're going to have to do right. We're going to have to wear our masks. So things are a little bit hard because the state wants to open, but there's a lot of non-compliant.
Okay, I see. And are the bars and restaurants open?
You have some that are opening, some that are open, some that are doing the rules, some that are not.
Oh, wow.
And so we have some that are open, we have some that are not open, and with those that are there is a lot closing down. There's not a lot that are surviving this. That's what I was trying to. There's a lot that are not surviving. There's a lot of closed restaurants. If you go to restaurants.com and see how many restaurants have closed down, it's quite a bit.
Wow. Okay.
Restaurants that have been here for 20, 30 years plus.
God.
Yeah, it's really sad.
What sort of rules are the bars and restaurants meant to follow if they are open?
75% opened. And that's the rules. They only can have 75% capacity, and they have to be 6 feet wide standing. So that means like separation, of course, and they have to wear their mask.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So a lot of restaurants, they're not surviving off of 75%. They're not surviving off of 80%. They need, because it's been so long. This has been going on for restaurants and bars. I think we got hit the worst because they haven't pulled any lenient on these things, which makes sense. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't, but it just seems like it's a restaurant that was already in trouble before COVID. You know what I mean? Is pretty much shutting down during COVID because they can't survive, and the bills have not changed. That's the big deal. Everything is still the same, as if the world is changing, but the laws are still the same for us to pay everything. Nothing is being done for restaurants or bar owners to help them.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I know the licensing laws in Texas are quite strange. I know, like I don't think you serve alcohol after 10 p.m. Is it there normally?
So it's after 12.
Oh, 12. Sorry. So has that been changed with COVID? Has it been brought earlier or not?
So it used to be 2:00 a.m. You used to have to leave clubs and bars. Now it's
Right.
12. So it's changed a 2-hour difference. There are some
Okay.
places that are shutting down like at 5 or 6 o'clock because they probably can't afford to stay open late.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys have dinner shifts, and dinner food costs way more than, you know, lunch and breakfast and stuff like that. So even a good local restaurant here in Tomball, the Will Kitchen, she used to have late hours. She doesn't do them anymore because of she used to be open from 8 a.m. to 3, and then from 6 to 9, I believe. She doesn't even have the 6 to 9 anymore.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because the inflation on food went up. You know, food went up, alcohol went up. I've seen prices rises in alcohol as well. So people are trying to get their money any type of way, and it's like it's almost as if that's really hurting because you could at least depend on knowing your food prices. Now, I used to know alcohol prices in my sleep. Now I don't. I don't know anymore.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. And also last time we chatted, we were talking about the face masks, and you were saying what it fascinated me that it's almost become political as to whether you wear it or not.
It has definitely become a two-sided. If you wear them, you're a little bit more wanting to get this COVID out the way. There's a lot of people that feel, and this all boils down from leadership. When you have leadership in place, you have one side saying this, and the other side is saying, wear your mask. This is really bad, you guys. We need to be able to come together. But then you have one side of leadership saying, you don't need to wear your mask. This is all a hoax. You know, you're going to have those two-sided people where they feel, well, you're wrong. No, I'm right. But now you have restaurants who are saying you can't come in. And then you have people coming in without the mask, and then they're asking them to leave. And then now they've got the camera and they're like, you're trying to kick me out and you're trying to hurt my constitutional rights. And it's like we are trying to keep the peace. If a restaurant says wear a mask, go into that restaurant and wear a mask. If you don't want to eat there, there are plenty other restaurants who don't have that law.
Okay. Wow.
You have to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, I mean, it's madness, isn't it? Like having an inanimate object that can almost say who you voted for, or and show your beliefs just by wearing something. It's absolutely unbelievable.
No disrespect to the other side, because it's never about disrespect. It's about what you believe in. The reason why my husband been so on me and so protective of us, it's because you don't want to think that you're the cause of somebody else dying or being put in the hospital. I mean, that alone to me just makes me really want to be I want to be the solution. I don't want to be the problem. And I'm not saying not wearing a mask is a problem, but it is. You know what I mean? And in a safe way of saying that, if you decide to go out there, what if it's your family member?
Yeah.
I would never want to hear my grandmother was in a room with you and you didn't have your mask on and you did something to poor grandma. We just have to be, I just think it's just a consideration. It's not about us. If you're good and you're healthy and you're happy, and that's great, but it's not about me. It's about that elderly person or that young girl who's got asthma. You don't know. So if you don't know and you can't detect it, which COVID has not allowed us to be like a smoke bomb goes off when you have COVID.
Yeah.
So you have to be cognizant. You have to go out there and you have to use your common sense, which common sense is not common. And you have to be kind.
Yeah, that's the key.
The biggest lesson 2020 has taught me is that kindness is going to rule the nation.
Good.
It just is.
Yeah, that's all we can do during these times is just smile and spread kindness.
Oh yeah, and do it with a great drink.
Absolutely, and I think that is an ideal time to wrap this up. So enjoy your drink. Franny, you've been an absolute star. Everybody, it's Franny from Franny's Bartender in Houston, Texas. Thank you.
What an absolute superstar there. It's absolutely great speaking to her. And going back to Texas, we've been there before, but Texas has changed so much with COVID and political reasons. So it's great talking to her and seeing what it's like there right now. So as I mentioned every week, we've got stickers. If anybody wants a sticker, then please just give us a shout. I hope everyone's enjoyed this festive episode of Around the World in 80 Drinks. It is the last one before Christmas. I'll try and get another one out there on Boxing Day if I'm sober enough. In fact, I might do it anyway. So yeah, hopefully see you again Boxing Day. Just might not be with a guest actually, because it's quite difficult to get guests to want to speak to you over the Christmas period. So give us a shout, drop us a message if you want to have a sticker sent to you. We'll put on all the links onto all the posts of Franny's bartending, etc. And that's it really. So I hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas. Stay safe, do what you're supposed to do, and do it safely. And that's it. That's me, Dan Lakin, on Around the World in 80 Drinks. This is an aviation that I'm going to go off and enjoy. I'll see you after Christmas. Cheers.